Delta Tennessee Williams Festival. We're going to see now a short scene of about 20 minutes from Cat on a Half Tin Roof with Alice Walker playing Maggie the Cat, Johnny McMail playing Big Daddy, and Wendy Garrison musical accompaniment. So I hope you will enjoy the show.
Hear them screaming? I don't know where their voice boxes are located since they don't have necks. Yeah, it's too bad because you can't wring their necks if they got no necks to wring. Isn't that right, honey? I tell you, I got so nervous at the table tonight, I thought I would throw back my head and utter a scream that you could hear across the Arkansas border and parts of Louisiana and Tennessee. I said to your charming sister-in-law, May, honey, couldn't you feed those precious little things at a separate table with an oilcloth? The lace cloth looks so pretty and they make such a mess. She made enormous eyes at me and said, oh no, on Big Daddy's birthday? Why, he would never forgive me. Well, I want you to know Big Daddy hadn't been at that table 2 minutes, watching those 5 no-neck monsters slobbering and drooling over their food, before he threw his fork down on the table and shouted, for God's sakes, Goober, why don't you put them pigs at a trough in the kitchen? I swear I simply could have died. Think of it, Britt. They got 5 and number 6 is coming. They brought the whole bunch down here like animals to display at a county fair. Why, they got those children doing tricks all the time. Brother, show Big Daddy how you do this. Show Big Daddy how you do that. Say your little piece for Big Daddy, sugar. Show your dimples, honey. Brother, show Big Daddy how you stand on your head. It goes on all the time, along with constant little remarks and innuendos about the fact that you and I have not produced a child, are totally childless and therefore totally useless. Of course, it's comical, but it's also disgusting since it's so obvious what they're up to. Why, you know what they're up to. I'll tell you what they're up to, boy mine. They're up to cutting you out of your father's estate. And now that we know Big Daddy's dying of cancer.
What makes you think I don't mean it, Ida? You don't know a goddamn thing and you never did. I went through that laboratory and operation and all just so I know who was boss here, you or me. Well, now it turns out I am and you ain't. And that's my birthday present, my cake, and champagne. Because for the past 3 years, you've been gradually taking over, bossing, talking, sashaying your fat old body around the place I made. I made this place. I was overseer on it. I was overseer on the old straw and Ocello plantation. I quit school at 10. I quit school at the age of 10 and went to work like a nigger in the field. And I rose to be overseer of the straw and Ocello plantation. Old straw died and I was Ocello's partner. And the place got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I did all that myself with no goddamn help from you. And now you think you just about to take over? Well, I'm just about to tell you, you're not just about to take over a goddamn thing. Is that clear to you, Ida? Is that very plain now? Is that completely understood? I went through that laboratory from A to C and had that goddamn exploratory operation, and there's nothing wrong with me but a spastic colon. Made spastic, I guess, by disgust. By all the goddamn lies and liars I've had to put up with, and the goddamn hypocrisy I've lived with all these 40 years we've been living together. Hey, blow out the candles on the birthday cake. Purse your lips, take a deep breath, and blow out the goddamn candles on the birthday cake.
Big Daddy dotes on you, honey. And he can't stand Brother Man and Brother Man's wife, that monster of fertility, May. She's downright odious to him. Know how I know? My little expressions that flicker over his face when that woman is holding forth on one of her choice topics, such as how she refused twilight sleep when the twins were delivered. 'Cause she feels that motherhood is an experience that a woman should experience fully to appreciate the wonder and beauty of it. Ha! And how she made Brother Man stand beside her in the delivery room so that he would not miss out on the wonder and beauty of it either, producing those no-neck monsters. Big Daddy shares my opinion on those two. As for me, well, I give him a laugh now and then, and he tolerates me. In fact, I sometimes suspect that Big Daddy harbors a little unconscious lech for me. The way he drops his eyes down my body when I'm talking to him. Drops his eyes to his boobs and to my boobs and licks his old chops.
Woman, Rick's has a better shape than Gooper's, but Gooper's wife's a good breeder. You got to admit she's fertile. Hell, at supper tonight, she brought them all to the table. They had to put a couple extra leaves in just to make room for them. She's got 5 head of them now, and another one's coming. It's funny how Brick and Gooper, being so different, picked out the same type of women. Somehow or other, they got the same look about them. I wonder what gives them both that look. They don't look peaceful. They look like a couple of cats on a hot tin roof.
The way you were looking at me just now, before I caught your eye in the mirror and you started to whistle. I don't know how to describe it, but it froze my blood. I've caught you looking at me like that so often lately. What are you thinking of when you look at me like that? Don't you think I know that I've gone through this hideous transformation? Become hard, cruel, frantic? That's what you've been observing in me lately. How could you help but observe it? That's all right. I'm not thin-skinned anymore. Can't afford to be thin-skinned anymore. But Brick, I was gonna say something. That I get lonely. Very. Living with someone you love can be lonelier than living entirely alone. If the one that you love doesn't love you.
I'm going to move May and Gooper out of that room next to this. It's none of their goddamn business what goes on in here at night between Rick and Maggie. They listen at night like a couple of rutted peephole spies and go and report on what they hear to Big Mama, and she comes to me and says they say such and so about what's going on between Brick and Maggie. Jesus, it makes me sick. I'm going to move them out of that room. They listen at night like a couple of rutted peephole spies and go and report on what they hear to Big Mama, and she comes to me and says they say such and so about what's going on between Brick and Maggie. Jesus, it makes me sick. I'm going to move them out of that room. I hate sneaking and spying. It makes me sick. Yeah, Brick. They listen and give reports to Big Mama on what's going on between you and Maggie. They say you won't sleep with her. That you sleep on the sofa. Is that true or not true? If you don't like Maggie, get rid of Maggie.
They're playing croquet. The moon has appeared and it's white, just beginning to turn a little bit yellow. You were a wonderful lover. Such a wonderful person to go to bed with. And I think mostly because you were really indifferent to it. Isn't that right? Never had any anxiety about it. Did it naturally, easily, slowly, with absolute confidence and perfect calm. More like opening the door for a lady or seating her at a table than giving expression to any longing for her. Your indifference made you wonderful at love making. Strange, but true. You know, if I thought you would never, never, never make love to me again, I would go down to the kitchen and pick out the longest and sharpest knife I could find and stick it straight into my heart. I swear that I would. But one thing I don't have is the charm of the defeated. My hat's still in the ring and I'm determined to win. What's the victory of a cat on a hot tin roof? I wish I knew. Staying on as long as she can, I guess. Later tonight, I'm going to tell you that I love you. And maybe by then, you'll be drunk enough to believe me. Yes, they're playing croquet. Big Daddy's dying of cancer.
I'm a rich man. I'm a mighty rich man. You know how much I'm worth? Close to 10 million in cash and blue chip stocks. Outside, mind you, of 28,000 acres of the richest land this side of the Valley Nile. But a man can't buy his life with it. He can't buy back his life when it's finished. That's a very sobering thought. A very sobering thought. And a thought that I was turning over in my head over and over and over until today. I'm sadder and wiser for what I've just been through.
You know I'm fond of Big Daddy. I'm genuinely fond of that old man. I really am, you know. I've always sort of admired him in spite of his coarseness, his four-letter words, and so forth. Because Big Daddy is what he is, and he makes no bones about it. He hasn't turned gentleman farmer. He's still a Mississippi redneck. As much of a redneck as he must have been when he was just overseer here on the Jack Straw and Peter Ocello place. But he got a hold of it, built it into the biggest and finest plantation in the Delta. I've always liked Big Daddy. Well, this is Big Daddy's last birthday. I'm sorry about it, but I'm facing the facts. It takes money to take care of a drinker, and that's the office I've been elected to lately. Two people in the same boat who got to take care of each other.
What do you know about this mendacity thing? Hell, I could write a book on it. I could write a book on it and not cover the subject. Pretense, ain't that mendacity? Having, for instance, to act like I care for Big Mama. Hell, I ain't been able to stand the sight, sound, the smell of that woman for 40 years now. Even when I laid her, regular as a piston. And pretend to love that son of a bitch Gooper and his wife May and those 5 same screechers out there like parrots in the jungle. I can't stand to look at them. Church, it bores the bejesus out of me, but I go and sit and listen to that fool preacher. Clubs, Elks, Masons, Rotary, crap. Rick, I do like for some reason, you'd always have some kind of real feeling for affection, respect. Yes, always. Rick and being a success as a planner is all I ever had any devotion to. And that's the truth. I don't know why, but it is. I've lived with mendacity. Why can't Rick live with it? Hell, you gotta live with it. There's nothing else to live with but mendacity, is there?
Who are you? I'm Maggie the cat. Britt, I've been to a doctor in Memphis, a gynecologist. I've been completely examined and there is no reason why we can't have a child whenever we want one. And this is my time by the calendar to conceive. Are you listening to me? Are you? Are you listening to me?
Well, I've come back from further away than that. I have just now returned from the other side of the moon. death's country, son. And I'm not easy shocked by anything here. Always, anyhow, live with too much.
Oh, you weak, beautiful people who give up with such grace. What you need is someone to take hold of you, gently with love, and hand your life back to you, like something gold you let go of. And I can. I'm determined to do it. And there's nothing more determined than a cat on a hot tin roof, is there? Is there, baby?